To live out your extraordinary, you need to pursue dreams that are a little scary and a little impossible, because that pushes you out of your comfort zone. Today on Growing Hope, we begin to dream big so we can start to fly.
It's time for Growing Hope, the show determined to grow up hearts open to pursue the extraordinary. Because you are extraordinary! And now, live from a little cabin in the woods, nestled along Big Spring Creek, it's your host, Kathryn Lang.
Hello and welcome to Growing Hope, where we are creating the right plan for our unique purpose living. I am Kathryn Lang, your Hope Smith and Dream Igniter, daring you to live your extraordinary. You are uniquely designed. You are designed on purpose and for a purpose, but it's up to you to understand your purpose so that you can set the plan that you need to get there. Nobody else can do it for you. When my sons were younger, their grandpa would talk to them about the right job that they needed, or he would ask them about the job that they wanted, and he'd tell them about the jobs that he had. I would dare them to dream bigger than a job. I would tell them, you're uniquely crafted for such a time as this. Right now is your time. When you unlock your uniqueness, then you will be ready to fly. They've heard it so much that now that's how they think. That's where they go to when they begin thinking about school and occupations and possibilities. Sometimes it frustrates my husband. He grew up in a home that said, get a job, get a good job, stay in that job. That's the mentality that was pushed on him. When any of my children came to me with an idea, I would have them make a list of things that would be necessary in order to take the next step. That responsibility sometimes meant they walked away. They weren't so interested that they would follow through, so the dream would fade. And it's okay for dreams to come and go. It's okay not to pursue every dream that you put out there. But you need to be chasing your big dream goals, those goals that are grown up from the heart seed, that uniqueness, that passion, that purpose that was planted in you at the beginning of time. If you believe you can reach your big dream goals and you keep taking the steps in that direction, then you will live your dreams. They'll no longer be dreams, they become your reality. So dare to dream big. A big dream goal needs to be a little bit scary. A big dream goal needs to be a little bit impossible. A big dream goal needs to include all four corners of a balanced life. A big dream goal needs to be beyond your current resources, and a big dream goal needs to be constantly fed in the heart and in the mind. Sometimes we get ideas mixed up with big dream goals. Those are the kind of dreams that you can walk away from. I had an idea that we, and that's not the royal we, but my whole family we, could have a flower farm. I already had plenty of flowers. We had more than enough space. My sons even had shown a little bit of interest in cross-pollinating so that they could create their own flowers. I didn't have a plan. I just had an idea. I got more plants. I got pots to put them in. I even started a pile of compost to use for potting soil. A lot of things were done, but the idea wasn't fueled by a true desire or a passion, and it definitely wasn't pushed by a plan. It was just something that was handy and practical, so I thought it was a good idea. Big dream goals are more than good ideas. They're what give your possibilities. They turn your impossibilities into possibilities by giving them the wings they need to launch into your extraordinary life. Big dream goals are that little seed of what if that was planted in you, or that's always been stirring in you, and you don't really talk about it because it's so big and so crazy that you know people are going to look at you like you've lost your mind. You look at you like you've lost your mind when you start thinking about it. That's a true big dream goal, and that's the kind of big dream goals we need to be setting for ourselves. A big dream goal is more than what is. It's even really more than what could be, because it pushes beyond what you can see into the unknown possibilities that are out there. It causes you to step in faith and not just in fact, and that can get uncomfortable pretty quick. Big dream goals are lofty. They're lofty enough to take your breath away, and they will make others shake their head. The other people around you, they're not going to understand. They won't understand, because no matter how impossible it looks to them, your big dream goal is fueled by your purpose passion. You just know, you know. Several years ago, when I first heard about podcasts, I imagined having a program that would go out to millions of people every day. I could see it. I could envision it. But I wouldn't talk about it. I wasn't going to tell anybody else for fear that they would laugh. Of course, that plan's blown right now, but still, little by little, I have been digging down into podcasting and broadcasting and learning more and moving a little bit further into my big dream goal. On more than one occasion, I thought I had to go a particular direction to justify my big dream goal, because somebody told me that's the way I had to go. But I had to keep reminding myself that just because it worked that way for others didn't mean it was my way. Even knowing that, I still find myself distracted by what they have to say and what they tell me I have to do. The distractions are going to come. The naysayers are going to show up. You have to be so firmly entrenched in your big dream goal that you're going to be ready to withstand the assaults. So big dream goals should be big, bold, crazy in the eyes of the beholder, scary, impossible, exciting, passion-stirring, and something you just can't stop imagining. First, your big dream goal should be a little bit scary. And not scary like meeting a hungry cougar on your morning walk type scary, but jumping off the diving board for the first time scary. When you think about taking a step into your possibilities, what sends the butterflies fluttering? I still remember the first time I dove off the high dive. Joining the diving team wasn't something I really wanted to do, but I did it because I wanted to be closer to my husband, who hadn't quite yet noticed me. So I decided that I would join the dive team, and I was diving only on the low dive. And then they challenged me to dive off the high dive, and I didn't want to dive off the high dive. It made my heart skip just thinking about diving off the high dive. But I was still trying to get my husband's attention, so up the ladder I went. And eventually, I won a gold medal in our state summer league diving meet. Big dream goals should take your breath away. That's how you know you're moving into something you've never tried before. The second thing is your big dream goal should be a little bit impossible. If you reach for something already in your grasp, you don't have to stretch beyond where you are. If you're going to grow up into all of your possibilities, then you will have to stretch beyond now. One summer while I was at camp, I had the chance to participate in a high ropes course. One of the elements required climbing up a telephone pole, balancing on the very tip top of the pole on a 1 foot by 1 foot platform, and then launching yourself towards a trapeze hanging a distance away from the pole. You could not reach the trapeze if you just stretched out your arms. Even if you turned and stretched out that one arm, trying to get a little few extra inches, you still couldn't reach it. You had to launch yourself, and the shorter you were, the further you had to launch. So when it came my turn, I knew I was going to have to just throw myself completely at the trapeze if I was going to stand a chance of reaching it. That's how you need to approach your big dream goals. Just throw yourself, be willing to leap. Now, I did have a a line attached to me. So I wasn't just leaping blindly into the air. I had a backup system. So know that your plan that you're making, that's what's going to control this big dream goal leap. Speaking of balance, the third part of your big dream goal is setting goals in all 4 blocks of life. This is where the whiteboard of world domination comes in. You can learn more by visiting whiteboardofworlddomination.com. But the 4 corners are aspiration, which is your profession or work, stewardship, which is your home and resources, transformation, which is your mind and body, and fellowship, which is your friends, family, connections, and relationships. If you've ever tried to balance a drink carrier with an uneven number of drinks, then you have an idea of the challenge that happens when you try to walk this journey with any one of your blocks unattended. Setting big dream goals in each of the blocks helps you bring balance to your life, and that's ultimately what we're trying to do, is have a balanced life, because a balanced life will make it possible to pursue your big dream goals. It's a circle. It's really the circle of life. So the 4th part of your big dream goals is you have to be able to be beyond where you are now. In other words, your big dream goals should push you beyond the resources you currently have. You want to utilize what you have moving towards your big dream goal, but you don't want to be limited by what you have from setting big dream goals. I can't because I've watched more dreams crumble because of these words, because the focus moves from the dreams to the limited resources available. Big dream goals will never fit into the current resources, and if they do fit into the current resources, you aren't dreaming big enough. They aren't really big dream goals. And the final part of big dream goals is the need for constantly feeding the possibility thinking. You can achieve your big dream goals if you believe that you can achieve your big dream goals. You have to keep feeding that belief. You have to keep growing it up. It has to become so bold that when things come against you, you don't falter. You just believe. You know it in your knower. I mentioned that when my kids were younger, I always dared them to dream big because they were constantly fed with that thinking. They were constantly told to dream big, pursue big, dare to live outside the box. That's how they live now. They dream big. But I wasn't always that good about feeding possibilities. At least I didn't always understand feeding possibilities. When my husband dared to dream about launching his big dream goal, I encouraged him, just like I did the boys, to fill out the plan and, what's the next step. I wanted him to begin finding his way because I know that the only way you can get there is your way. But when he came to me with his plan, I told him it was wrong. And you got to remember the background he came from. Go get a good job. He wasn't taught to think big and think outside the box, so all he could hear was, it's wrong. Instead of feeding his possibility thinking, I doused his dream with cold water, and he walked away. You can't depend on others to feed your big dream goals, so be invested in speaking your dreams, envisioning your dreams, writing out your dreams every single day, and listen to things that talk about positivity, possibility thinking. Read stuff that is about positivity and possibility thinking. The more you fuel the big dream goal, the more you solidify it for your journey. Your big dream goals are possible if you're willing to dream big and then pursue. Over the years, I've set goals, usually around the first of the year. They were big, but they were skewed because they were about the expectations of others. What would they think if I wrote down that real goal that I want to do? But these last few months, I've started really stepping big into my big dream goal and daring to say it out loud, just like I did a few minutes ago. This is what I want to do. This is my passion. This is something I believe I can do, and therefore I will do. I'm prepared for the naysayers and the distractions. There is only one thing standing between you and your purpose life, and that's you. When you decide to dare to dream, and then you choose to step towards that dream, then you will begin to fuel your big dream goal. You'll begin to live your purposeful life. You'll begin to be extraordinary because you are extraordinary. So dare to dream. Dream a little scary. Dream a little impossible. Dream with balance in the four corners. Dream beyond your resources. Feed the dream. Your big dream goals are only an action away, no matter what you're dreaming. You can have your big dream goals. It's up to you. So make the move, take the action, and dare to step. Purpose living begins with big dreaming. Remember, a big dream goal is a little scary because it is bigger than anything you have done, and it will take more than you've ever put to practice. A big dream goal is a little impossible because it's beyond your current abilities or means. You will have to stretch. A big dream goal covers those four corners of life: aspiration, stewardship, transformation, and fellowship, because that's what gives you the balance you need to stand. A big dream goal is a little beyond the current resources and beyond the current limits. And a big dream goal requires constant feeding. You have to believe in the dream, and the only way you're going to truly believe is if you're feeding that dream day and night. Big dream goals are the beginning to living a life filled and overflowing with extraordinary expectations. And expectations are the key to moving from a life of merely surviving to one of thriving in purpose and on purpose. When you're thriving in life, then you are walking the balanced life that we're pursuing. Now, things are not always going to go the way you expect, and they will rarely go the way you plan. But if you have a big dream goal fueled by purpose, focus of your heart seed, the one that was planted in you from the beginning, then you're going to be able to keep going even when it doesn't go your way or doesn't adhere strictly to your plan. Dare to dream your dreams. And when you dare to dream your dreams, you will begin to fly. Thank you so much for joining me today for Growing Hope. This is one of my favorite topics. I know that you can. I dare you to do it. You have so much potential in you right now. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter where you are in the process. You could have already reached some serious heights, but that doesn't mean you're limited. There's so much more out there. And daring to define your big dream goals is a huge step towards getting there. Giving yourself permission to dream can be a little scary. It can almost be as scary as pursuing the dreams because we're conditioned to stay grounded. The world wants us to stay grounded. The world knows that if you dare to dream your big dream goals and then you launch into those possibilities, others are going to see. Others are going to follow suit. And pretty soon the world has lost control to the dreamers. Let's take back the world. Let's create our world domination. We can. It's within our grasp. It's up to us. I dare you. Connect with me on Growing Hope Radio Facebook page and tell me what you dare to dream. And I'll encourage you to get there. I am Kathryn Lang, and I'm here to tell you that hope makes a difference. Because every day holds a promise of more and every action contains the power of possibility. It's not about what the world says or even what the world shows. The strength of hope and encouragement will and does push through the limits and the walls of the world. My prayer is, and always will be, that the words I share are helping establish a foundation of hope that will shatter the delusions of the world around us. Do you dare? Until next time, remember, be blessed and be a blessing.
Thank you for joining us for Growing Hope with Kathryn Lang, where we are sharing hope, encouragement, and inspiration to do more. Visit www.kathrynlang.com to invite Kathryn to be part of your event or to share your own stories of possibility living. Until next time, remember that a seed of hope planted and nurtured will grow up into a world of possibilities.